Have you ever wondered why baby Jesus looks the way he does in a lot of medieval art? Well, there is an answer, and it is not because they didn't know what babies looked like. The answer is iconoclasm. To start, when I'm talking about icons here, I am talking about depictions of religious figures, which in art history are often referred to as icons. The function of icons, according to Byzantine theology, was to provide a representation of sacred figures for people to pray to, but it was understood that when you were praying to one of these figures, your prayers were addressed directly to the saint or holy personage. Concern from iconoclasts stemmed from the book of Exodus, chapter 20, verse 4, where it basically says that you should not create idols for yourself in the form of anything in heaven, on earth, or in the water, and you definitely should not worship them. Connected to that, there was a fear that when people were using these icons for the religious purposes I previously mentioned, that they were putting too much focus on the icon itself and not the actual holy figure that it was representing. These concerns are what made Emperor Leo III start banning the use of icons, also known as the Iconoclastic period in the Byzantine Empire, which iconoclasm directly translates to the breaking of images. In the Church of the Dormition in Nicaea, though unfortunately destroyed by the Turks in 1922, there are photographs where you will see a good example of the changes that occurred during and after iconoclasm. In the apse, you will see a large mosaic of the Virgin and Child, but if you look closely, you will see an indentation of a cross, which was covered up at the end of the iconoclastic period. Crosses were not commonly considered to be problematic depictions by iconoclasts, which is why they were the go-to decoration to cover up these religious figures. One exception to this was that putting crosses on the floor of churches was predictably considered problematic because they didn't want people walking on them. Otherwise, they were considered to be fine, along with geometric shapes and patterns. Now, going back to the medieval baby Jesus question, that way of depicting Christ was strongly influenced by the iconoclastic period. Before and after both waves of iconoclasm, the icons that were created were still made with Christian theology in mind. This means that when artists were producing icons, they were not exactly mirroring reality and often took a more abstract approach. People commonly think that this more cartoonish art style and lack of accurate anatomy and individuality were because the artists lacked the skill to do those things, but it was actually because of the values of the time. Their art was meant to stand out as different from the art of polytheistic Greece and Rome, where we can see that they did have the skills to create those realistic figures. Byzantine Christians didn't want to depict Christ or any other religious figure in that way, hence paintings of baby Jesus looking a bit like an old man sometimes. Anyway, thank you for watching. I hope this was informative. I'll see you in the next video.